Hugh, how did the first practice go?
I think so. I'm teaching a series to our players and our staff for the month of March from Win the Day by Mark Batterson, and this week's theme is flipping the script. And just really shared in about a 20-minute session yesterday with our staff and kids of what that should look like for us, and how do we flip the script from fantastic yet challenging 2020 to how do we flip the script and get past that, as great as it was with all the great memories we'll have, but how do you sustain that? And I think it's based around this theme of being a program that's obsessed with good habits. And so that's the challenge for me and for our staff and for our players. And was real pleased with the body language, the energy, our attention to little things yesterday. I thought was really good. So I was pleased with day one.
Coach, it seems like one of the positives or advantages of COVID is that it's giving some guys an extra year of eligibility that you may have lost. I know it's only been 1-2 days of practice, but how much is that going to help? Here in spring ball leading into fall.
There's, we're deeper than we've ever been. It was kind of fun to actually. I mean, we actually went four groups yesterday. Four offenses versus four defenses in certain segments of practice, and had enough people to get everything done, particularly in the skelly situations or perimeter. May not quite have four O lines or D lines, but I just think that those kids coming back really. There's certainly some negatives to COVID. I think the high school kids are really getting hurt by it, but man, there's no doubt it's positive to have 16 experienced, solid, good players that also understand the culture that we're trying to create and the standard that we want to chase. And I think that's, I don't know that I can put it into words how valuable that is in the locker room and in the off-season programs with Dom. And so it was pretty neat. I felt like we were just kind of extending practice from last year. It was kind of a weird feeling to kind of feel like, well, we have basically the same team plus some others.
And coach, how unique is that for you to have a team like this? I'm not sure if you've ever had a team that's had so many returnees. To have them come back, does it make spring practice different for you as far as like a practice schedule or anything like that?
It's quite different. The practice schedules won't be much different. We always try to accomplish the same things in spring ball, but as far as there's those older kids, you're not concerned, John, with how many reps they really get. So we're more concerned with all these new kids and these younger ones. They should get 60 to 70% of the reps compared to those super seniors that are returning. They already know it, and you certainly depend upon them to set the tone in the locker room, in the meeting room, in the weight room, and at practice. But that you don't have to spend the number of reps. You just want to make sure they're getting to the bus next year because they already have proven they know our stuff, and certainly if we put in something new that we haven't done, they might get more reps that day. But I've been very clear with my instructions on get them a lot of endo work, but we're not concerned with how many reps the old line that are returning as super seniors get. Chase Mitchell needs the reps. He's going to be a phenomenal player, but he needs the reps. Damian Bounds doesn't need a lot of reps. Brandon Schindler doesn't need a lot of reps. Schultz, they don't. Let's just make sure they're in the best shape of their life come fall camp.
Hey, Coach. It's Jermaine here. Hope you're doing well, sir.
Doing good.
I got to ask you. When we talked in the past, you talked about, obviously this is your third year of this program, and with FBS and all that. and you're talking about getting, making that transition of getting guys that were sort of FCS level to FBS level. Do you feel right now that your program now is like fully? I mean, because you guys have had the success, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
But with the roster you have now, do you feel like it's a full FBS type roster?
This roster is, in my opinion, at 80% of 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 where we need to be now. Um, I'm not sure there's any place I've been that I ever had 100% that I felt like we hit on absolutely, and they're exactly what we want for the level that we're playing, if that makes sense. So whether it's Ole Miss or whether it's Arkansas State or whether it's here, I'm not sure we'll ever get to 100, but I sure would like to be around 90. That I feel like, man, they are truly the level that we're playing against. We're close, a lot closer, obviously.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Hey, folks, I'm back on here. Apologize for my connectivity issues. If you guys just want to keep using the raise hand option, or if you guys just want to keep going the way you're going, then that's fine.
Coach, one of the ones that you mentioned when you were talking about depth and understanding where guys are at this point, how do you balance that, especially with younger guys in an era where it seems like there's more desire to play right away, there's more thought of the transfer portal. If that doesn't work, letting guys know honestly where they're improving and where they fit in with your plans, and especially if they are long-term fits, but they may be coming along a little bit slower. How do you and your staff manage that?
You speak truth to them, and some won't like the truth, and some will respect you for sharing the truth and understand the blessing that they have with the grass that's underneath their feet here. I will also share with them the truth that if you look at the numbers in the transfer portal, you better educate yourself, because there's going to be over 1,000 kids without a home that thought that this transfer portal was absolutely the best thing for them and all of that, and somebody led them to believe that was great advice, and now all of a sudden there's going to be over 1,000 kids probably at the end of this spring semester without a home to go to. So you need to understand the facts of what is real, and understand the blessing that this place has given you, and everything is not instant gratification in this world, and it doesn't come without some work and without some sacrifice. So that's the way we will approach it. Will it work for every single person? Probably not, but I sure hope they lean toward gathering the correct wisdom before making a decision that really will alter the blessings that they have currently.
Hugh, you look at you got a good number of mid-year enrollees, and it looks like Stetson Moore, you spoke really highly of him on signing day, that you have him now moved out to the outside at wide receiver when he was a tight end that you likened to an Evan Ingram that you could put out wide. Did you need to move Stetson out there because not only because of his athleticism and the need for outside receivers, but also with C.J. Yarbrough electing to opt out for the spring?
Yes, the combination of all of it. He's still going. He's still kind of half and half. He's in some, one day he goes endo with Ben and tight end. One day he goes endo with Mo. So he's a hybrid. I'm not sure exactly what that's going to end up looking like at the end of spring. But I know that we like having a bigger body that can do that, and he and Johnny both will get some reps out there, and I think we become more difficult to defend when we can even get in our 12 personnel and one set time be in some tight formations, next time have one of them flexed out. So I'm really impressed with his ball skills yesterday. Blocking, he's got to come. We're going to ask him to be a little more physical than he's had to be in the past. But it was a combination of just trying to play to his skill sets and also, making sure we had enough bigger bodies for outside, work.
That opened the door for a guy like Trevor Hobbs to get a few more balls, maybe there at tight end as well.
Well, it's going to, Trevor is going to get a large majority of the reps. I don't need to see Johnny's reps in spring ball. I don't need to see Jerome's. So we need Braden Mundy, and we need Trevor and Bollinger and these other guys and Stetson to get a majority of the reps.
Coach TJ Green's a running back, out of Utah and out of high school. He had a, highly recruited profile. What do you hope to see out of him? His first semester there at Liberty and this spring.
Man, really excited about him right now. We hadn't put pads on yet, but excited about the way he performed with Coach Dom. Excited about his maturity. Comes by my office and he's a grown man. We have grown man conversations, and he really is seeking to be the best him he can be. And then yesterday in our first practice, I loved the burst he had. I think he's got a good football mind. I'm really excited about what the possibilities are with him.
Coach, from last year to this year, and obviously we're approaching the 1-year anniversary of the COVID shutdowns, but it seems like, knock on wood, crossing and whatever else needs to be done to avoid that, that you'll have an off season much like normal years. How much do you expect that to impact, especially the development of your offensive and defensive linemen and getting them physically to the size where you would want them to be for the level of football in which you guys play?
Yeah, we're fortunately, our return, our upperclassmen all decided to come back at those two positions, and so you're returning kids that have been with Dom, for a while now, and I'm pretty pleased with where they currently are. I mean, I look at Henry Jabuzzi. When we got here, he was 372 pounds or something, and I mean, this guy yesterday at practice is, 305 and looking really, really good. And so I'm pretty pleased with those upperclassmen. Now is, these younger guys, we need to get them looking the same. And so us not missing, the workouts that we're currently having, plus the ones that are going to occur in April, a few in May, and then obviously we missed June last year for really a part of it anyway. And I think that consistency there will make a huge difference. Not only the workouts with Don, but the nutritional program that Miss Danielle puts them on through our training table. So us having consistency in those two things, I think, will help those younger kids develop like these older ones have.
We talked a lot last season about your linebacker room and how you didn't quite have the numbers there you were hoping to get. I know you got a couple new bodies in there this spring. Is that finally starting to get to the level you'd like to see as far as numbers and quality players there?
Yeah, I think the jury's still out as far as the quality. I don't know that we're exactly where we need to be quality-wise. It's hard, unfortunately, we had a few surgeries, and Dupree can't go through spring, Jenkins can't go through spring, Humes can't go through spring, Carl Poole can't go through spring. So that's the room that we needed the most work at probably. But the good thing is it gives Rashad Harding and, Ahmad Walker and Casey Seegers plenty of reps. And obviously, AP's Pierre's become kind of a leader of that room, and we moved Michael Glaze to linebacker also, along with Jerome Jolly. So it's going to give a lot of time for those kids to get reps. We still probably, if the right guy came along, we would probably use one of our remaining scholarships on another linebacker if the right one came along.
How much are you watching high school football in Virginia just to see how these next few weeks develop in terms of whether a scholarship is worthy to give out to one of those seniors?
We will be. I haven't watched a lot yet. I don't know whether they have 1 week so far, or we'll probably let them get 2 or 3 weeks in, and then our recruiting office I know is staying on top of it, and then they'll start showing me and our staff some stuff. It's unfortunate, really. I mean, the high school kid is really getting hurt in some of the it's the COVID world combined with the transfer portal world, and it's very uncomfortable recruiting kids that you have not seen in person, nor have you been in their home, nor have you been in their school. it's just very uncomfortable, and it's unfortunate that it's probably a lot of high school kids are going to get caught up in it.
Coach, how much work's being given to the quarterbacks outside of Malik, so that way you do have, someone or some ones behind him who have good knowledge of the system and can step right in case with Malik's scrambling ability he happens to get hurt in the game.
Yeah, Malik is one that he's not quite like it's if you take Elijah James or Tristan Schultz, those guys I don't need to see a lot of reps. I mean, they know how to line up and play. But the quarterback plays a little different. Malik still needs reps. He still needs to improve and be more consistent with his mechanics. So he's still going to get the ones reps. But we are spending a lot of time getting 2s, 3s, and 4s. We're doing split huddles in spring right now. So every time the ones is getting a rep, the 2s are on the other end getting the same rep. And then the 3s are getting their share too. So JB has really changed his body. He's in good shape. He looked good yesterday. And obviously, we got 3 others that are there getting reps also between Will, Bauer, and Nate and Sean. So they're all going to get quality reps.
Let's go back to about the roster being at about 80% where you want it to be now. What would be probably the next position group that you'd like to see kind of fill out? Because it feels like your time here, it's kind of started in the trenches, and then it went to the linebacking spot, and now that's starting to fill out a little bit. Where would you say is probably the next need, I guess, for your team?
Yeah, it's still linebacker right now. I do think we just, from yesterday's practice, we improved our team in the secondary at corner and safety. They moved around well. I'm excited to see what happens there. So I feel like we've addressed that a little bit. You got to continue. You never need to slow down on the D line. You better always have D line there. So I would say it's linebacker and outside receivers is where we really could use a little more help.
We've got a few minutes here if anybody's got anything else for Coach.
What did you think about Gus being hired at UCF and then poaching SJ?
Yeah, I talked to Gus all the way through the whole deal, and he was first. It was, do you think I should do it? Do you think I shouldn't? And I know him well enough to know he's bored to death and he needed to do something. And I think you can win big there, and I think he senses that and felt that. And so I was really happy for he and Christy to get back in it because we need good people in coaching in college, and he's certainly one of the best and at mentoring kids and at coaching the game. As far as SJ, man, I'm for my guys. I think if I'm 27 years old and have a choice between Orlando, where my family is at least half the year, and Lynchburg. Even though for me, I don't need the beachy areas or anything, but I think it was more just him wanting to get more experience under other people and be close to his family. But I'm for all my guys. Really happy for R.J. Fleming, man. He deserved his own room. He's a rising star. Obviously, we've lost him, and that gives me a room to elevate Logan Bradley, who's getting married, who I promised I would take care of. I told his grandmama that when I got him, and now he gets his first paycheck and insurance, and he's getting married in May. So, that's exciting when I see kids that we've raised. Really, RJ gets something, and now Logan gets something, and then put Michael in his place at GA, one of our own here. So I'm happy for all those guys when they get opportunities that they think better advance them.
What does that do for the program, for your program as well, Coach, when guys like that are able to advance in terms of showing what Liberty can be as a winning football program and a developmental program, not just of players but of coaches as well?
Yeah, I think, if you look at the coaches that have left me and gone on, they're doing pretty dang good everywhere they are. So I think it speaks for our culture and our program, I hate that all our new offensive ideas are going to get out there, but that's part of it. RJ will be telling the next staff about the new things we're doing that I think are very cutting edge that I really hadn't shared with a lot of people. But I know that that'll get out there, but that's good. I'm happy for them and excited for our. It speaks volumes for our program when our guys and y'all don't know it because I don't talk about it a lot, but that's not the only ones that have had chances to leave, and fortunately we're at a good place that as most people are choosing for them in their career, it's right for them to stay here. Obviously, if you're young and you're not on the field and you get a chance, you need to do that. So we're happy for those, but also happy that most are choosing to stay.